The master seeks the object which will resist him. Stavrogin does not find it. Napoleon finally does. There are many more Napoleons than Stavrogins in the universe of internal mediation. The ambitious man is not persecuted by a blind fate. It is the dialectic of pride and shame which is always present, even at the height of glory. The soul of the great man is constantly being hollowed out by the abyss of nothingness. The novelistic dialect of master and slave throws light on the Tolstoyan concept of history. Napoleon condemns himself, for in this universe of internal mediation, one must always choose either the sterile self-control of the dandy or the most abject slavery. Isaiah Berlin, in his brilliant essay, The Hedgehog and the Fox, shows that there is no historic determinism in Tolstoy, in the usual sense of the term. The novelist's pessimism is not based on an inexorable chain of causes and effects. Nor on a dogmatic conception of human nature, nor on any other data immediately accessible to the investigations of the historian or sociologist. Like every object of desire, history is ephemeral. With equal ease, it frustrates the conjectures of scientists and the calculations of men of action who think they have tamed it. In the universe of internal mediation, desire for omnipotence, like the desire for omniscience, contains within itself the germs of its own failure. Desire misses its object at the very moment when it seems to attain it, for by becoming visible, it arouses rival desires that stand between the hero and his object. Each individual's activity is restrained by the others, and the more spectacular the activity, the more effective the restraint. Now the master is drawn relentlessly from desire through desire toward the supreme spectacle of his own omnipotence. He always moves, therefore, toward his own destruction. Every startling success in the universe of double mediation results from the real or feigned indifference. It is Père Sorel's indifference which enables him to get the better of Monsieur de Renal. Indifference assures La Sanseverina's triumph at the court of Parma and Monsieur Lewin's in the Chamber of Deputies. The whole secret consists of displaying indifference without giving away one's game. The banker's politics in Lucien Lewin could be considered a parliamentary dandyism. Kutuzov's victory in War and Peace could be considered strategic dandyism, compared with Napoleon and the young officers of the Russian army who desire victory too much to win it. The old general is the incarnation not so much of military genius as of superior self-control. Ascesis for the sake of desire is equally well illustrated in the work of Balzac, but the metaphysical game does not unfold with the same geometric exactness as in Stendhal, Proust, or Dostoevsky. Some of Balzac's heroes triumph over every obstacle by brute courage and an activity mostly concerned with the external world. The windmills do not overthrow the men, but the men the windmills. The laws of triangular desire do not always provide an interpretation of the career of Balzac's ambitious characters. These characters take the objects of their desire by storm and then settle down to a real and lasting enjoyment of them. Rastignac is perfectly happy in his box at the theater. The audience and the orchestra looks on him as he looks on himself. This is the happiness dreamed of by the dandy or the businessman. Everyone in the universe of internal mediation heaves on the chain of desire and dreams of the retirement he will enjoy. Not out of the world, but in the world he has finally conquered, a world possessed and still desirable. Rastignac's destiny does not reveal metaphysical desire, it reflects it. Balzac is the epic poet of bourgeois desire, and his novels remain imbued with it. His vituperations against modern society share the ambivalence of certain contemporary denunciations, such as those of the early Dos Passos, for example. There is always some ambiguity in them. It is hard to distinguish indignation from complacence. There are in Balzac many intuitions parallel to those of the novelists studied in this book. But the web in which the desiring subject is trapped is full of rents through which often enough the author himself or his personal representative slip. In the novelists we have chosen to study, the cloth is so closely woven, the thread so strong, that it is impossible for anyone to escape the unyielding laws of desire without escaping the desire itself. In double mediation, as we have said, mastery is always the reward of the partner who has best concealed his desire. The strategy of high society and of love in Proust's universe always conforms to this law. Only indifference can open the doors of the salon to the snob. Quote, "The lights of high society are so used to being sought after that one who shuns them seems to them a phoenix," end of quote. Ascesis for the sake of desire is a universal requirement in the novels of internal mediation. Far from reducing all the heroes to a single type, this law enables us to define certain differences. For example, between Julian Sorel and Proust's narrator. Marcel is condemned to slavery because he is incapable of going all the way with sacrifice for the sake of desire. But the disastrous manner in which the psychopathic universe is constructed has decreed that the clumsy action, the action which we ought most carefully to have avoided, should be precisely the action that will calm us. When the pain is too keen, we dash headlong into the blunder that consists in writing, sending somebody to intercede, going in person, proving that we cannot get on without the woman we love. Marcel gives in to all the temptations over which Julian triumphs. Someone is indeed vanquished in The Red and the Black, but it is not Julian, it is Mathilde. There are indeed conquerors in a remembrance of things past, but they are never Marcel, Swann, or Charles. They are Gilbert, Albertine, Odette, and Morel. A mechanical comparison between Stendhal's and Proust's heroes will never reveal the unity of metaphysical desire, nor the close connection between the two novelists. For the principal heroes of the two novels represent opposite moments of the same dialectic. The laws of desire are universal, but they do not entail a uniformity of the novels, even at those points where their application is most precise. The law is the foundation of the diversity and makes it intelligible. Julian Sorel is a hero master, Marcel is a hero slave. The unity of the novel can be seen only if we cease to regard the character, the sacrosanct individual, as a completely autonomous entity, if we disengage the laws that govern the relationships between all the characters.